What is going on, Trident community? Evan from Trident Incorporated here, back at you with another video talking about the sports card hobby. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing another thing that's kind of personal, completely my opinion, but I want it to be a conversation starter. I want to get your opinions on this. What do you guys think about this topic? And it is the top 5 sets in the card hobby. That's it. It's simple as that. My top 5 sets in the card hobby. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of differing opinions on this, right? Some people are going to like Select more than Optic, or some people are going to like Mosaic more than Select, or Luminance or Score, even some lower end brands like that. I know everybody's different, so that's why I'm trying to get some answers here on just who likes what. So I think this is a pretty fun exercise here, but I figured I'd share with you my favorite ones as well. But without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to start at number 5, and we're going to start with Topps Chrome. Now, Topps Chrome right now, yes, they have come out with the Topps Composite, right, with the football and the basketball now, but for the last few years, it's been mostly baseball and soccer. I don't really collect soccer, but it's been baseball for the most part. That's been their calling card pretty much. However, one of the reasons Topps Chrome is on this list is for nostalgia reasons, and it's because up until recently, 10, 15 years ago, I believe, Topps Chrome was at least still making football, right? So they were still making football back in the 90s. Topps Chrome basketball was pretty big, and a lot of them inserts, right? A lot of them inserts are so cool looking for both the football and the basketball. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. Tom Brady's my PC, so to get some of his Topps Chrome stuff is always fun. The X Fractors, the refractors, whatever it may be. I really enjoy a lot of the inserts that they've done specifically for basketball as well. Allen Iverson's another one who I like to collect. He's a guy who's a lot of his Topps Chrome inserts, at least, are pretty cool. So Topps Chrome is definitely up there for me. It's one I try to look at for nostalgia reasons, and I am a little bit of a baseball collector, not too much though, so I do like to look at Topps Chrome, but I do still like the design. So maybe Topps will eventually get the licensing back for football and basketball, and we'll be able to get more licensed stuff from them out of Topps Chrome. But for now, that is on the 5 spot, and I think it's on the 5 spot because they don't have that license anymore, and I'm just not as big of a baseball collector. So with that being said, let's move on to number 4, which is Select. Now, Select used to be hobby only, so Select used to be a very select group of people that were getting it. Now it is also a retail set. Select is a solid set, though. Solid set. I think one of the highlights of it is the animal prints that they do run. They run elephant, tiger, and zebra. Zebra's personally my favorite. I do like the zebra. Another thing I like about it is the different levels that they have of card, right? You got your concourse, your mezzanine. For football, the top one's field level. For basketball, it's courtside. You got your premier level, your suite level. There's a lot of different things there, and I think it kind of creates a little bit of cool, collecting purposes. Oh, I'm trying to get the Tom Brady field level here, but now I got to get the suite level and this and that. I think it creates kind of a cool little game there you can play to try and collect them all of a certain player in that year. So I do think that's pretty cool, and I just think the zebra design is pretty sick. I like a lot of the low numbered stuff too. You can get a lot of blue discos, red discos. I think the blue disco for football is mostly numbered 25. Red disco, I believe, is numbered 49. So some pretty low numbered stuff there as well. And Select, I think, a solid brand, earns a solid 4 spot. Now let's get into 3, which is Mosaic. Now Mosaic, they are pretty good. I do like them. One of the things I will give them is they're colorful, right? A lot of their parallels are very colorful. You got the camo pink, reactive blue, reactive orange, and that's mostly the pretty much the basic ones, right? And then you get your pink fluorescence and your green fluorescence, your honeycombs, white sparkles, blue sparkles, red sparkles. And I mean, most other brands have that as well, but I do like the way Mosaic looks. But I also like my favorite card, I guess, parallel is the Genesis. I just think it's a clean looking card, no matter who's on it. You know, some are better than others, but I just think no matter who's on it, I just think the Genesis always looks pretty sick. And also, one thing I will give Mosaic is just from my experience of what I've seen sold, what I've seen listed, Mosaic does seem like a cheaper option. Mosaic seems like, of the ones that I'm listing here, it seems like one of the cheaper options. You can get some solid cards, I think, for some decent prices. So that gets a plus in my book as well. So I am a fan of Mosaic. And like I said, those Genesis are pretty clean looking. I really, really do like them. Now, going on to number 2, and these are the 2 we're going to spend the most time on. We sort of ran quickly through the first 3. I want to spend the most time on these next 2. Number 2 is Optic. Now, it's Donruss Optic, okay? But Optic for me used to be one. It used to be my favorite brand up until this past year. I think the design for Optic has been disappointing. I think the design has gone in the wrong direction. Design for me is a big deal. And I don't completely hate the 2023-24 design, right? The brand new one that just came out. I don't hate that. However, I do think it's a downgrade from years past. And to me, it just sort of soured it for me for Optic. But I still do really like the parallels. Of course, Optic has Downtowns, which is one of the best inserts there is in the entire hobby. Downtown is so fun. If you see a Downtown in your pack, you are instantly hyped, no matter who it is, right? It's the one, I feel like it's the one parallel that no matter who it is, you're hyped if you pull one, right? Because it's that fun. It's a cool insert. It's a cool parallel. So, and it's rare, obviously. It's a case hit, right? So, yeah, I do really, really like Downtowns here. But again, I just think the design overall for the set has gone down. But one plus they do have is they have the rated rookie, right? Because it's Donruss. So it's Donruss Optic. You get that rated rookie there on a CJ Stroud even base card. It says rated rookie. And there's just something about that, sort of that nostalgia feeling, right? Throwing it back to the 80s and the 70s when Donruss was everywhere pretty much. On the baseball cards, you got the Griffey one that had Donruss and it says rated rookie. It's one of those things in the hobby that just is pretty cool to see. So that's something Optic has going for them as well. My favorite parallel as far as Optic goes is probably the Pink Velocity. I believe numbered to 79, both basketball and football. And I just think it's clean. I love the velocity. That's why I like Optic Downtowns more than just Donruss Downtowns, because of the velocity, right? Like the lasers in it. So that's one of the reasons I like the Pink Velocity as well. I just think it's super clean, and I really like it. I like that it's low numbered as well. But let's get down to brass tacks here. Let's get into our top set in the sports card hobby. And number 1, it is Prism. And I understand that, look, it may not be a very exciting number 1 because it's going to be a lot of people's number 1s. I think it is the premier set for collectors, for buyers, whoever it may be. But this was a new one for me. And it wasn't until this past year where I was like, yeah, like I'm more of a Prism guy, I think, because I really dig the Prism design this year. And I just think that I've seen what the prices of Prism does versus these other brands I've named. And it's so much different. And so Prism, for sure, I think, is the premier set for the hobby. I think the design, like I said, is getting better. I think it's a top set for rookies, right? I mean, if you have a CJ Stroud, hollow Optic, right? And then you have a CJ Stroud silver Prism, you're gonna pay more for the silver Prism. You just are. It's similar, but it's probably the silver Prism is gonna have more value. So I do think that Prism is probably the top set for new rookies, and no matter who you are, really, I think Prism is really that top set. So that is something that has going for it. My favorite parallel of Prism is actually the purple cracked ice. For football, it's numbered out of 225. Basketball, it is numbered out of 149. So something that I don't know what about it. Obviously, it's not very low numbered, pretty common cards, which I think is something that I do like about it. It's just something to me, it just pops about that cracked ice with the purple, and I just really like how that looks. So that is my favorite parallel in that set. But again, this was meant to be a conversation starter. I am looking forward to hearing your guys' responses. What is your top 5? Is there any ones that you think I'm crazy for leaving out? Is there any ones here you're like, oh, I don't know why that's in there? I'm curious to hear it all. So please let me know. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for the support on Trident Inc. on Whatnot. We are constantly uploading our store with anytime auctions, so be sure to check them out and get your bids in. Trident Incorporated, Trident Inc. on Whatnot is going to brand new heights, right? We are on the road to 20K right now, and we couldn't do it without any of you guys. So thank you all so much for the support. We really appreciate it. But stay tuned for our next video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and keep collecting.